Hey guys, Alex with Bay Cities Construction. Today I want to talk to you about balconies and decks and how to properly waterproof them and how to evaluate if your balcony or deck needs to be recoated. Let's talk about a few telltale signs that indicate that the deck has got substantial amount of damage. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through them real quick, and these are some of the things that you should be looking for when you're inspecting the deck. This is one of our projects in Torrance, and I want to walk you through the deck inspection and have you see what I see when I look at this deck. Whenever you see active cracks, like a crack such as this one, it's actually deflected. This is basically the joint of the plywood, and not only has the waterproofing broken, the butt joint of the plywood has separated. This means, to me, when I look at this, it's scary because it looks like you probably would run your foot through that. So that's one feature. So I'm looking at obviously the overall condition of the deck. There's dirt that has settled. There's scuppers where those two balls are on the corner. That's supposed to be a scupper for the water to drain. As you can see, it looks like they got clogged. There's debris in there. There's another scupper over here with a series of little wiffle balls in there. Now, I'm not really stepping on this balcony because I suspect that this balcony has a lot of damage. So when you look at the perimeter, you're looking at the flashing. You can see there's actual moss growing there in the corner, which means that the water is drips off the roof and the stagnant. You can see that there's a gap between the stucco and the deck itself. That's the old flashing. So when we redo this entire deck, all of that flashing is going to come out, all of the decking is going to come out. So just to recap, when you're looking at the deck, you're looking for cracks, you're looking for any rusts along the perimeter where the flashing is, you're looking for any deflection in the deck surface, and you're also looking for scuppers that are clogged. These combinations of situations will indicate that there's a substantial amount of damage to the deck. But the only way that you can really know if there's any damage to the structural framing under the deck would be if you had a magic wand, if you could snap your fingers and look at the backside of it. But most of the time you can't because it's covered. So these are some of the things that you can assess when you look at the deck from the outside. Now, if you had a magic wand and snapped your fingers, maybe we could see the inside. Due to my special contractor powers, we're actually under the deck. And unfortunately, this deck has a lot of damage. Look at that. This deck has tremendous amount of damage. The plywood, this is the surface you're walking on upstairs, has completely rotted through. There's a big hole in this bay. There's fungus, that white stuff, that's a fungus growing in there. It's a nice little fungus growing in here. And then of course, you've got all that dark staining around there. The structural framing is damaged. This and this piece must be replaced. But water doesn't just leak here. Over time, the water found its way back here, here. All of the screws that used to be here are all stained, and the water gathered here. The water settled and caused all of this dry rot damage down here. You can see this whole thing, just huge chunks of it are kind of coming apart pretty easy. That's basically rotted out. There'll be at some point when this continues to rot, this will collapse and crush the rotted piece, and you'll have a settling of the second floor. But it could be as much as a ½ an inch. That would be bad. This is a good opportunity to replace this. This has been like this for a long time. Up here, we're gonna have to replace these two floor joists, this one and that one. And if that one has fungus, which I think it does, we're gonna have to replace that one. Truth be told, for safety's sake, we're probably just gonna replace all of them. because if there's a little bit of fungus on there, it'll keep growing, and we don't want to risk that. So that stuff's going to be gone. This is what happens, guys. If you've got a crack on that deck, you got to get to it right away. The worst thing you could do is just put some caulking and think that it's done. Most of that caulking doesn't work. It has to be a urethane caulk. And the truth is, if you've got a crack, you're gonna have water seeping in there. It's more than just a patch job. So consider replacing the whole deck. Why has this happened? Why did this happen? Basically, it's deferred maintenance. If you have a deck, a rooftop deck, a balcony, anything like that that is waterproof and has a living quarter underneath it, it's maintenance. It's really about maintenance. Every 3 to 5 years, you should have a new coat put on the deck. If there's any cracks visible, if there's any damage, like let's say somebody drops something heavy on the deck, anything like that should be repaired right away. It shouldn't be allowed to sit. What happens too often is you have deferred maintenance, or there's something that was installed incorrectly with the deck that allowed a little bit of water to seep in. Any of those conditions, if they're neglected, it'll create a condition where the water gets in, subterranean termites can come in and start eating it, or you can just have good old-fashioned dry rot caused by fungus growth. Hey guys, if you want to learn more about how to properly waterproof a deck, or even if you want to learn more about what it costs to replace a waterproof deck system, please check out the article below. We've got 2 articles on that, one on cost per square foot and also one on the best system for this type of situation. My name is Alex with Bay Cities Construction, reminding you, you don't need a contractor, you need a team of pros.